Yes, teacher.
All right, today we are going to talk about immigration. The question is, when is immigration helpful to a country? What's your opinion, Magda?
Well, I suppose this is the international movement, but I suppose that it's positive or negative effects in the different countries. For example, said about the healthy problems and the poverty problems and the different problems affect in the countries.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's it. Okay, thank you very much, Magda. Okay, Omar, welcome. How are you?
Fine, teacher. Thanks.
Excellent. That's pretty good. Omar, we are talking about immigration. Could you talk to us where you live?
Where I live, the immigration in my country, you refer?
No, I refer that where do you live?
I'm sorry. I am living in Michoacán.
Ah, in Michoacán. Hey, that's
Mhm.
great. That's a very beautiful place.
Yeah, yes, but it's so much immigrants,
Mm-hmm.
much
Yeah.
people that migrate to USA.
And what's the reason, Omar? Why do you think that they migrate?
Well, in my state, the problem, the social phenomenon, I guess, is for economic causes, uh, employment and poverty.
Mm,
Uh, these people go to USA's to live better, to get a job, to increase your income, something like that. Still, in recent time, I guess the security problems uh, are causes too in this time, recently time.
that's it. All right. Thank you very much. Fer, do you know anything about immigration in the state where you live in Tabasco?
Yes.
Okay, tell me, Fer, what happens?
Well, here where I live, some of people of Cuba, Salvador, and the other places are here in the. How do you say topes in English, teacher?
I beg you. How do you say what?
Topes.
Topes. Tops.
Okay, in the tops are looking for money or something like that for their child, or they are looking for job, or they want to go to the United States.
Thank you very much. You know what? You are looking at the other side. Yes, we were talking about people who go to the United States and abandon Mexico, but you were talking also about people who come to Mexico to pass to the United States. So, yes, you're right. We have both sides, the
Immigration is
people
not
who
okay.
go and the people who come. That's it. Thank you very much, Fer. That was very good. Okay, so Magda Zambrano, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Excellent. You know what? Today we are talking about immigration. Where do you live, Magda?
In Puebla.
Ah, that's great. That's a very beautiful place also.
Yeah, thank you.
Magda, have you observed any movement, any migration movement in your state? Is there people who go to work in any other country or people who come from other countries?
Yeah, the but the bad. The first, when the people immigrate, is sometimes when they go to United States for to getting a good job or a better life. But here in Puebla, and especially in Cuautlalcingo, there are a lot of, I don't remember, how do you say extranjero?
Strangers.
Ah, a lot of strangers for Guatemala, Colombia, Brazil. And in the school when I work, there are a lot of students for these countries. And they say that they come here because they need a better job or maybe because they need another kind of life.
That's it. All right. Thank you very much, Magda. Okay. So, Jose Luis, hello. How are you?
Hello, I'm fine, thank you.
Excellent. That's pretty good. Jose Luis, could you talk to us about the place where you live? Where are you from?
I'm from Monterrey, uh, Mexico. Right now, I live in here in Reynosa, the border of Tamaulipas. I live next to Texas.
Excellent. All right. So, you know what? Today we are talking about migration. There in the place where you live, have you observed the migration phenomena? How is it?
Yes, I can say it, around of the 60% of the people here is from other states. I mean, here in the border, there are many work to the people from other entities. So almost all the people are from other cities or other states. Even the most of the bosses and the companies are American or Japanese or French or other countries. So we have contact with the different people from different cultures, and that is the reason in the manufacturing plants here uh, is, 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 is a good uh, city to learn about that.
Yes, that's great. All right, you know what? We are discussing about what are the reasons why people migrate. What's your opinion about it?
Uh, I think that the one of the main uh, reason could be the poverty from the cities where they born. Um, Probably they don't find a good job with a good salary or the opportunities to work like a person, I mean a professional talking along. Uh, they don't have the chance to practice the the professional activities like other cities or or polluted cities when you have the opportunity to find a good job. I think the poverty and the chance of less opportunities to work and the career on professional.
That's it. Thank you very much. All right, guess what? Now we are going to see another image. Here we are. Here we have some exponents of vocabulary that can be very useful for us when talking about migration. So, could you check them up? Could you check them up and write in the chat what are the words that you don't understand?
Mm, provided in case people. Okay, I can. Mm, mm, what is case? In this case, what is about case?
Kate, where is it? Could you please make a signal with the anotar two? Case. Do you remember how to use the tool anotar?
Yeah.
So could you please use it so that we can stamp or draw or anyway signal the words? For example, okay, here, let me, excellent, asylum. For example, asylum means asilo. Okay, you are talking about this asylum, all right? So you were asking to me about case, but you know what? I can't find it. Could you help me to here it is. Is this case?
Yes.
Yes, that's it. Caso, case. That's the same.
Mm,
For example, when you talk about the cases when people migrate, what are the special cases? For example, the caravans are special cases.
okay.
Okay, anybody else?
Sí,
Yes.
teachers.
My
John.
pleasure. Attorney, here we are, this one.
Yes.
Attorney means abogado. It's a person who helps you to solve some legal problems.
It's different to say lower.
Yes,
Lower.
lawyer.
Oh,
Lawyer, it's a synonym. Hi, Isaac, welcome. Okay, Fernanda, she wrote asylum. Asylum means when a person is asking you for help. Let's suppose that it is a person who doesn't have a house, and so they tell you, Fernanda, please, could I stay in your house? Could you give me asylum in your house?
Okay, teacher.
Yeah, that's asylum. All right, anybody else?
Yes, teacher. Say amendment.
Amendment. You are talking about this one, all right? An amendment is an international treaty. The governments make some amendments so that they can regulate migratory phenomena. For example, do you remember that when Donald Trump was elected president, he said that he wanted to do an amendment to do a wall to stop migration to the United States, and he wanted Mexico to pay for that wall.
Okay.
That was he was trying to make an amendment.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, teacher.
My pleasure. That's it, Fernanda. The same amendment, like Tratados internacionales.
Mm,
Okay, any other word, kids?
homeland
Where is it?
is under permit.
Here, permit. Homeland. Homeland is the place where you live. For example, for me, my homeland is Mexico.
Okay. It's like country.
The place where you live. For example, I am Mexican, but if I go to live to any other place, for example, France, my homeland could be France because I'm living there. The place where you live.
Okay.
Okay.
Attorney.
Attorney. Attorney is a person who helps you in legal issues. It's the same than advocate, lawyer.
Yes.
Okay, anybody else?
Teacher, what does it mean legislation?
Legislation is the act to do laws fair. For example, the deputies and the senators in the Congress work to do some legislation about different issues. For example, about education, legislation about health, about human rights, etc., etc.
Okay, teacher.
To make laws.
Okay, and what does it mean citizenship?
Citizenship. Citizenship is the condition that a person gets when they go to live to any place. For example, if you go to the United States and you plan to live there, you are going to apply for being a citizen. And the citizenship is the right that they give you for being a citizen in that country. And ciudadano.
Oh,
Okay,
okay,
citizenship.
thanks, teacher.
My pleasure. Okay, anybody else, kids? No more?
Just
What's the meaning of stump?
Oh my, where is it?
Stump.
Here. Is it?
Here. Yes.
Stamp. Stamp is a signal that somebody puts on a paper that says that it is legal. So, for example, there are some stamps with the Mexican, oh my, how do you say escudo? I forget it.
Okay, just like the oh, se me fue.
Into Spanish, we say sello.
Sellán.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you.
My pleasure. So kids, let's do something. Could you help me to write some sentences in the chat using this vocabulary? I would like to do an example. Okay. So my example is this. To migrate to another country, I need to get a passport for some paperwork. Okay, what is paperwork? Paperwork is a document that says that you are contracted in another country. Okay, it's okay, Fer. It's okay. No drama, no panic. It's okay. If you feel comfortable at that schedule, it's okay. My pleasure. Ready? Come on, kids. Your examples.
Example of what, teacher?
We are going to use the words that are in the screen to create some sentences. I made an example for you. Hello, Pilar. Hello, Pilar. Welcome. How are you?
Fine.
Okay, excellent. You know what? I wrote an example for you all. That. So here it is. The example is this one. Hey, Magda, very good. Magda wrote, the flag is a symbol in the different countries. Excellent. Very good. Magda Zambrano, if I travel, I will try to get the passport or to be a refugee. Okay, very good. You know what? We are going to do some changes. Magda is if I traveled.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Remember that this is the second conditional. If I
Yeah.
traveled in past,
Uh-huh.
is if I traveled, I would try to get the passport. Okay, here it is. Okay, so the people is American. All right, excellent. Pilar, immigration is a real problem in Mexico in these moments. Yes, Pilar, very good. So that correction, immigration is a real problem in these moments. All right. Okay, so what about Magda Camacho? She wrote, the poverty, Magda. You know, when we are talking about a general situation, we don't use THE. In this case, we are talking about all the poverty, not a specific one. So as we are not talking about a specific one, we don't use the. We say poverty is the most important problem around the world. Okay? All right, fair. People who want to go to the USA have to, let me check fair. People who want to go to the United States have to find their documents or have to get their documents and identity.
Okay, teacher.
Yeah. You are not going to use they because it is a subject, and people who want to go to the USA is a subject. Hey kids, do you remember the topic that you were working with in Unit 3, non-clauses?
Oh, yes.
Yes, teacher.
Non-clauses tend to be sometimes a very difficult topic
Yes,
if we
teacher.
don't understand what is the function. Here, involuntarily, Fernanda wrote one of those. It is a noun clause. Let me write it on the chat. Okay, here you are. Fernanda wrote this. Okay, people who want to go to the USA. Okay, we are not going to write they because it is a double subject. Okay, have to get their documents and identity card. Okay, this is the sentence. In this case, Fer didn't know that she was using the non-clauses, but here it is. Look at this. The non-clause is this one. People who want to go to the USA. This is the subject. We are talking about these specific people. And it is a sentence, but at the same time, is the subject because we are talking about these people. They are the non-clauses. Okay? Do you have any question about non-clauses?
Javi.
No, teacher.
No?
Yes.
Okay, Pilar.
How do you know that is a noun clause?
Because it is not a subject. For example, we could say, if Fer wants to go to the USA, Fer is the subject. But here, as we are referring to the person with some characteristics, it is a whole construction to say who, yeah, so that people know who are we talking about. So that's the noun clause. It's a clause, it's a sentence, but it's a subject for the action.
Teacher, can you write an example, please? Because I don't have this so clear.
An example of noun clauses?
Yeah, please.
Aha, okay. So, let me check. The naturalization issue. This is my subject. No, the naturalization. Which people look for when they migrate is not easy to get. Okay, so look at this. The subject for this noun is all this. Let me use it. Okay, it's all of this sentence. The naturalization what people look for when they migrate. That's what we are talking about. That's my noun clause. And the complement is not easy to get. Is the verb, not easy to get is the complement. But this, all of this is the subject. That's a noun clause.
Okay, teacher.
Okay.
Then the noun clauses are so that the noun is not is general, like naturalization, like people.
It could be not all of the time. Let me give you a specific example. Let me write another one. Aha, I've got it. Let me change the color. Here it is. The girl who visited us yesterday is an African immigrant. Okay? So, I am talking about, here, let me use it.
Some girl, not a specific girl.
Yeah, I'm talking about a girl, the girl who visited us yesterday. This is the noun clause. Is an African immigrant. That's the complement and the verb.
Okay.
Yep.
Mhm.
So it can be specific. The noun clause looks for specific information about the subject. Okay.
Now, yes.
Excellent.
Now,
Anybody else who wants to ask anything about this topic?
No, teacher, me no.
thank you
All
very
right.
much.
My
Teacher,
pleasure.
I
Yes,
write an example. Can you check if it's correct that?
of course, I will do it. So Magda Zambrano wrote the first one. The people always remember the homeland when they are far. Excellent. Thank you very much, Magda. Magda also wrote, immigration in Mexico is very popular nowadays. I would say that, Magda. Immigration in Mexico is very popular nowadays.
Okay.
Is very popular nowadays. Aha. Why? Because we are not going to talk about immigration, the immigration with THE, because it is not a specific situation. It's immigration in general. Okay, so immigration in Mexico is, instead of saying is most popular, we can say it's very popular. Every day you talk about always. I guess that you are referring to this moment, nowadays, the present
Okay.
time. Okay, all
Yeah,
right.
thank you.
Thanks to you. So let's go to the next. Pilar wrote. No, let me check the first. Magda Camacho wrote, the poverty is the most important problem around the world. Excellent. Fernanda wrote, immigration is poor. Fair, I guess that it's immigration is because of poverty. That could be,
Yes, teacher.
all
That's right.
right. All right, so Pilar, people migrate because of poverty. Because of poverty, all right, Pilar? Okay, Omar wrote, the immigration. Okay, we are not going to use the. We are going to say immigration is a process which some people come in to a foreign country to live. Okay, the same case, Omar. We are not going to say the immigration because we are talking about immigration in general. Okay, so,
Okay.
all right, thank you. Magda, the people, we are talking about all the people in general. People always remember their homeland when they are far. Pilar, nowadays people migrate all over the world, to all over the world, okay? Isaac, in order to avoid illegal immigration, countries make sense so that people do the paperwork, so that people have paperwork paperwork to travel with different cases like tourism or business. Okay, Isaac, just that little correction. In order to avoid illegal immigration, countries make amendments so that people do. All right? Jose Luis, deportation is a big problem for cities that are in the border of Mexico. Excellent. Pretty good. Let's go with Magda. Immigration in Mexico is very popular nowadays. Aha, that was the correction. Thank you. Hey, that was very interesting. Pretty good, kids. Now, please, Let's go to the next image. Okay, here we are. Look at this. I think, in my point of view, this is very sad because when people migrate, they not only have problems to get a job, they also have problems. They abandon their family or because they risk their lives, they endanger their lives, and sometimes they suffer from discrimination. So, what do you think about this, Magda? Magda Camacho, what do you think? Is it difficult for people? Is it dangerous?
Okay, wait. In my opinion, this is it's very dangerous because the risk all the time can put the people in very risk. But on the other hand, the risk are bad. For example, the healthy problems and the education problems, and that's all.
Okay, thank you very much, Magda. Yes, health problems and education problems are real for immigrants. Okay, so Magda, please talk to us about your victim. Who's your victim?
Oh, yes. Omar, please.
Thank you.
Yes, teacher. What
Okay, Omar.
what is the question, teacher?
Omar, immigration have some implications. For example, people need to find a job, people need to abandon their families, people who migrate also need to risk their lives. What's your opinion? What do you think about this?
Well, I think the immigration is it's a phenomenon that have some dangers for the people that immigrate. They sometimes are risk his life, and they are motivated by the better life and many times and get a better condition of life. I don't know, maybe uh, maybe this scenario, this
This scenery?
thanks this scenery is not equals for everyone. Depends of a kind of immigration, because some people migrate to other country or like to get a better education, maybe a master or PhD, but not all people is the same. Many dozens or dozens of people migrate to better life because poverty or war or conflict, social conflicts. I guess it's my opinion.
Thank you very much, Omar. Omar, please tell me, who's your victim?
Um, I don't know, maybe Fernanda.
Thank you.
Um, Teacher, what's the question? I don't remember the question.
It's okay, Fer. Yes, what are the implications, in your opinion, when people migrate? What are the problems that people can suffer when they migrate to other country?
Okay, well, one problem, they don't have what to eat, they don't have what to drink. Some some have childs. They don't have to go buy some food to their child. They also separate of their families.
Porque tienen que entregar una tarea de artes.
All right, Fer, thank you very much. Fer, tell me please, who's your victim?
My victim is Pilar.
Thank you.
Well, I don't know when was born the American dream, because since I was a child, I have heard about in the States that life is better for all kind of people. And nowadays, I know that it's not a real thing in these days, because there are a lot of politicians or political problems. The government doesn't want people from other countries because they see, I don't remember, amenazados,
Menace.
menace. American people feel menaced for the other people who is always migrating from different countries. Since African countries until the kids from Salvador, from Guatemala, from Mexico, that we we have heard about history, about history from people who live there in the USA since they since they were a child or children, and they count a lot of fantastic things, and they improve your life and improve education and improve a lot of things. And now they don't want to return to Mexico or to the country from there, went out. And I think migration is a difficult thing, but I think it's because the poverty in other countries, that the government of other countries, um, they they don't do anything for people, and they don't have jobs, they don't have food, they don't have education, and is that the reason that I think that people always want to immigrate, even though the even though they don't think through the migration. Thanks.
Thank you very much. You know what? I think that it is very important. Necessities that people have move them to make decisions to abandon their homelands. Thank you very much, Pilar. All right, so please tell me, who's your victim?
I don't remember if Fernanda already talked.
Maybe Isaac. What about Jose Luis?
Isaac,
All right, thank you. Isaac, hello.
Hello, can
Hello,
you
Isaac.
hear me? Okay.
Yes, we can listen to you. So, please,
I
what's your
think
opinion?
it's a polemical topic, teacher. You know, the base of the foundation of the Occidental countries like Mexico and United States are the immigration from the European countries, you know.
Yeah,
And
that's it.
so at this point, that the American, the USA make a legislation to avoid the immigration is it's confusing for me. I think it's a population trouble uh, instead of immigration because people from Latin America uh, goes to United States to make jobs that American people don't work, like in the like how do you say agricultura?
Beg you? How do I say what? I'm sorry, I didn't listen to you, Isaac.
Agricultura,
Agriculture.
agriculture. People from Latin America goes and do that job, and I think in order to to make a better life for their families.
That's it. All right. Thank you very much, Isaac. So, who's your victim? We are missing also Magda Zambrano. I guess, Jose Luis, have you already participated? I guess the missing one is Magda Zambrano.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you. Magda, hello.
Hello. I think the immigration is it's very difficult for the people that travel to another country and for the people that be in this country. For example, I have the experience for my family when the people travel to another country, they missing and they have a lot of problems because they don't have any idea if when they arrive on this country they got it a job or maybe they got it a lot of problems and and their family that live in Mexico or for example here it's so difficult because they have a lot of problems too like the money and they missing the people, they have a lot of feelings when the people travel. I think it's very difficult and it's very dangerous for the people that travel to another.
Yes, you're right. Thank you very much. You know what? Sometimes well, in my point of view, when we talk about migration, sometimes we think about people who go to the United States, but I guess that we should remember that most of the countries and cultures have been transformed and have been formed also by migration. For example, here in Mexico, or Mexican customs or Mexican folk, and all of our uses have been modified because the migration of people from some other countries. Even our music or food has been changed because of the establishment, the settle down of people from around Spain, for example, Arabia, the Czech Republic, Cuba, people from Africa, for example. Here in Mexico, we have the Mexican African community. We call them Afro-Mexicana. And that's another culture that we have that was formed by the slaves who came from Senegal. They came also from Nepal. They were stolen from their territories to work here as slaves. And of course, they had to settle down, the ones who came alive. So yes, migration sometimes tends to feel like, well, we tend to feel like migration is negative. But well, in my point of view, it has changed the way and the shape of the countries and the cultures. Well, you know what? I think that this is a very interesting topic, but we have finished with our time today. I don't know if you want to say any commentary, to ask any question.
No, teacher.
Oh, okay. Kids, please don't forget that the only activity that we have assigned for today is the midterm exam. So don't miss it, please. All right?
The what, teacher? The what?
The midterm exam.
What that, teacher?
You are going to find the midterm exam in the platform, in the assignment list. It is marked as review units 1 to 10. Okay?
Ah, okay, teacher, okay.
Yeah.
1 to 10.
1 to, I'm sorry, 1 to 5.
Okay.
Units 1 to
5.
5. Review units 1 to 5.
1 to 5.
That's it. I'm sorry.
And when is the last day to do the midterm exam?
You can do it any day in the week, Pilar. You can do it today, tomorrow, whenever you want. Just remember that it should be done in only one session. And that if you start doing it, and so later on you decide that you don't have time and you close it, all of the exercises that you didn't answer are gonna be scored in 0. So please start to do it, finish doing it.
Okay, you have, then I have only one opportunity and I have to do since the beginning until the end.
That's it. Excellent, Pilar. That's it.
One time, only one time.
Yeah, only one
Only
opportunity.
one.
Okay, teacher. O sea, que tú vas a poder. You have to do the exam. In that time, you sit on your chair. You have to finish all the exam.
Yeah, so don't worry about the time. I didn't activate the timer, so you can last for 1, 2, or 3 hours. There's no problem.
Okay,
But
teacher.
only once, all right?
Okay, teacher, what's
Yes,
the
teacher.
fire line, or how do you say, limited?
The deadline?
The deadline.
Sunday evening, please. Sunday, 12 p.m. 12
Okay.
a.m., I mean.
Okay.
All right? Well, thank you very much. Have a very good night and meet you next class.
Yes,
See you,
teacher.
Thank
Teacher,
you.
bye.
Thank you very much.
Good night, everyone.
Thanks to you.
Yeah.
Good
Goodbye,
night.
Fernanda.
Bye,
Pilar.
everybody. Bye.
Good night, everyone.
Bye, Omar.
Night.
Ciao. Good dreams.